A lot of fun. Pretty smart animals for the most part, aren't they?
They're really smart and not at all what I expected. And
So
it's
this is
just,
your first time with Spanky. Are you looking forward to doing it again, maybe?
I'm really looking forward to next year. And the state fair is a lot of fun. Definitely recommend it. And
You meet a lot of neat people here too, don't you?
definitely meet a lot of neat people, a lot of new people, a lot of different things. It's just really unique and special.
What kind of treat does he like? Treats?
He really likes marshmallows. Pigs just love marshmallows. I don't really understand why. They just do. I guess because they're sweet. They even put it in some of their feeds and everything. And we also discovered that he likes applesauce.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they really like that. What else do they like? That's about it.
Well, that's pretty good, though. Some special friends have helped you with this project. Tell us a little bit about who's worked with you and helped you with the project here.
So Jeff Cotton and his two sons have really helped me out a lot. They feed my pig and house it at their house, and I'm really thankful for them.
Exactly. It's great to have special friends like that. You know, Hattie, the thing I've noticed about showing livestock in general, you meet some wonderful friends here in the livestock barn, don't you?
Yeah, you really do. It's really special.
Obviously, Spanky, congratulations on doing a great job today, and I know you're heading back home now, but great to see you here. Congratulations on a great show today.
Yeah, thank you.
I know your grandpa would be very happy. I know you've known your grandpa for many years, Mr. Steve Hargis, and I know he'd be very happy and very, very proud of you. So good job today, Hattie, and good luck as you get into it next year. Be get another one next year, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited for next year.
Absolutely. Hattie Shinwell with us with the Kentucky State Fair, and our coverage today brought to you by Farm Credit Mid-America, Raider Auction Company, Southern States Petroleum Hopkinsville Division, and by your friends at Raider Auction Company. Reporting the Kentucky State Fair, I'm Alan Watts.
I think the word has gotten around that Raider Auction Company has 4 amazing farm equipment auctions each year, but people still say every day.
I didn't know you buy and sell equipment every day.
Well, they do. Delbert Raider has well over 40 years' experience. He's well known for his knowledge of used equipment, and he buys and sells every day. Financing available. Stop by Raider Auction Company, Skyline Drive, Hopkinsville. You don't have to wait for an auction.
We're at the Kentucky State Fair and have a chance to talk with Evan Cotton. Evan showed hogs on Wednesday morning in the Market Hog Show. Tell us, how'd the show go for you?
Just speechless. I mean, I have a Poland Bear. He got grand champion out of 9. And then Yorkshire Bear got 4th out of 8. I mean, with that win with the Poland Bear, I get to go to one of the biggest stages on earth, go to the Grand Drive and Broadbent Arena on those really nice green shavings.
Can't wait to see you there on Thursday night. It's going to be fun, Evan. And tell me a little bit about your hog there that won.
So that bear we purchased from a young guy up in Indiana. The name of Isaac Beeman. Really good guy. I mean, he just helped us a lot with feeding, and this bear just really athletic, just super muscular. Always had that big stamina, which really helped him in the show ring. Just really nice, complete bear.
A lot of work goes into that behind the barrel too, though. Tell us how it is to work with a hog project through the year.
So hogs are way easier than cattle. Hogs, you just got to wash them. You know, you got to lead them around with a whip and walk them about 15, 30 minutes every day, or at least I try to. And, you know, clip their hair, condition them, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work there that goes into that. But, you know, pretty excited to get to go to the Green Shavings on Thursday night in the championship drive. You ever done that before?
No, sir. I've had a brother recently 3 years ago. He came here with the reserve champion Hereford Bear. But now I get to go here with the grand champion Poland Bear.
What do you enjoy about showing hogs?
It just really suits me. I like figuring out stuff. How can I make these species better? Just the complete and design and structure of these creatures. I mean, it's just unbelievable how far I have actually came since the beginning to where I'm at now. I mean, it's just really insane.
You enjoy judging livestock too, which is part of it. It goes right into your project, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. It really does, especially during March whenever we pick them out, or possibly April whenever we pick them out. It just, you know, at the beginning of the year, whenever you judge them, you worry so much because you're like, oh, well, I got to pick this pig to win overall. How am I going to do this?
Right.
So
did you think this was a special hog all along, or were you kind of surprised today when you got grand champion, or what?
I'm sort of in the middle. I'm sort of surprised, sort of not. I mean, really athletic. He's got all sorts of power, and he's just unique. I mean, He's just sort of really unique, and I really like the bear.
How did he act when you won champion today?
Well, he drove like it was nothing. I mean, he drove like I stole him. That's what my dad always told me.
Like that. How'd you react when you won champion?
I will tell you, I cried.
I think that's precious, Evan. Congratulations, and look forward to seeing you in the championship drive on Thursday night at the Kentucky State Fair. I know you and your dad helps you a lot. Brother, you guys work a lot with this project, and I know you enjoy this hog project in general.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Evan Cotton with us. We're at the Kentucky State Fair. Farm Credit Mid-America brings you the coverage along with H&R Agri-Power, Raider Auction Company, and Southern States Hopkinsville Petroleum Co-op. I'm Alan Watts.
Anyone can sell you a rake or a shovel or a bag of seed, and there are many sources for fencing, fertilizer, and feed. But only Southern States can provide you with these goods, along with a unique and priceless commodity. It's the collective knowledge of thousands of farmers, and it comes from getting things done. For nearly a century, Southern States has been a supplier and expert resource for folks with rural living needs. If you're a farmer, a grower, or a do-it-yourselfer, they've built a place for you. Southern States, Kate is in Hopkinsville, farmer-owned since 1923.
At Trice Hughes, they're ordering it your way. How would you like to have a vehicle built just for you? Little things are important, like rich colors, big screens and displays, almost like watching TV. Exteriors with beautiful style and powerful engines that respond to the lightest touch on the accelerator. It's time to get what you want. Order your new ride and feel the thrill when you drive off the lot. Trice Hughes in Princeton is the one-stop shop for everything your vehicle needs. For more information, visit tricehughes.com. That's tricehughes.com.
It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYOnline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning, everyone. The Sideline Report is on the air from 1035 West Main Street in Princeton, the WPKY studios. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and YourSportsEdge.com. Welcome to the Sideline Report, and we start off the show this morning going to Murray, talking to Dave Winder, who is the Associate AD for Media Relations there at Murray State. And Dave, good morning. Thanks for being back on the show. Yeah, we had a couple extra weeks built in there somehow, but glad you could come back. And since we last spoke, Murray State has hired a new athletic director. All right, that sounds great. Well, it's always fun to have former racers come back home, I bet. Well, what an exciting time, though, to jump into Murray State athletics with the move to the Missouri Valley Conference right here on top of us. And I can't imagine how busy you guys have been, are, and will be down there at Murray State. Well, Murray State did such a great job of, making the transition correctly. Sometimes I think the whole conference realignment thing can get a little messy, but you guys did it the right way, and you've still got a lot of OVC teams. As I look through your different schedules, a lot of those former OVC opponents are still on your schedules. Now, you've still got one more year in the OVC in football, but I noticed the Missouri Valley Football Conference has already put out its conference schedule for the next 2 seasons that you guys will be a part of it. Do you guys have anything special planned for that first home game? We're talking this morning with Dave Winder from Murray State University. And Dave, I was actually looking at the top 25 the other day and talking about the move up to the Missouri Valley Conference for football next year. And I think they had number 1, number 2, and maybe number 6 and number 8 in the country, all from the Missouri Valley Football Conference. So that is going to be kind of a different look next season. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun, though, seeing those Missouri Valley teams, make the trip to Murray and kind of reinvigorate the schedule maybe just a little bit in a lot of sports. Exciting times for Murray State athletics. Dave, just one more question for you this morning. Is Albert Pujols going to get to 700 home runs? All right. Yeah, it's been a fun season so far, and I think it's just going to get better. Yeah. All right, Dave, appreciate you coming on today. Yeah. All right, thanks, Dave. Appreciate it a bunch. That's Dave Winder, Associate AD for Media Relations there at Murray State University. Former Caldwell County Tiger football head coach Pat Gates has joined us in the studio, and we'll talk to him when we come back. Stay with us as we continue on the Sideline Report here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Get ready for back to school with Health First Community Health Center, offering physicals, immunizations, ADHD treatment, and well-child, sick child visits. At Health First, we offer affordable, quality health care for the entire family. We accept K-CHIP, Medicaid, Medicare, and all major commercial insurance. A discount program is available based on income and household size. Call today to make your appointment at 1-877-667-7017.
At Goodwin Insurance, they select their insurance companies the same way you do, very carefully. When you work with the agents at Goodwin Insurance, you can count on receiving fast, courteous professional service with quality protection. You deserve someone that provides comprehensive coverage and is working alongside you in your community. Contact them today for a quote.
Goodwin Insurance of Princeton, Cadiz, or Marion, or online at insurewithgoodwin.com.
It's time to get down in Hoptown this Friday and Saturday at the 6th Annual Summer Salute Festival in downtown Hopkinsville.
It's a weekend full of food, fun, kids' rides, and great music with a free concert by KC and the Sunshine Band on Saturday at 7 o'clock.
And on Friday night at 6, Hootamaki welcomes the legendary Jimmy Church Band to the Bluegrass Beverage Stage.
Summer Salute runs from 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. both nights. And Saturday night at 7, break out the bell bottoms. It's time to put on your boogie shoes as WHVO welcomes KC and the Sunshine Band. Brought to you by Oak Grove Racing and Gaming, Jenny Stewart Health, Forterra Credit Union, Novellus, HWEA, Penny Ryle Electric, Atmos, and Hopkinsville Electric.
100 vendors, music, free kids rides, and more. It's Summer Salute, the biggest party of the summer, downtown Hoptown, from 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. this Friday and Saturday.
For more info, check out HoptownSummerSalute.com or Facebook.
Brantley Furniture, family owned and located in the heart of downtown Princeton. Jeannie and Megan invite you to come in and check out their selection of furniture, bedding, and gifts. Financing is available.
Your Weather Edge Weather Center forecast: sunny skies and a high of 88 this afternoon. Then tonight, mostly clear skies, low around 67. Friday, a 20% chance of showers and storms in the early afternoon. Sunny skies after and a high of 88. And then Friday night, as we get closer to kickoff, mostly clear skies and a low of 67. But back to this afternoon, we've got sunny and 88 degrees.
Hey besties, it's your girl Jo from Jo & Co Boutique in Eddyville. and we are proud to support the Pledge of Allegiance on WPKY.
Shopping can be overwhelming. At Joe & Co. Boutique, it's their priority to get to know you. Enjoy a personal, stress-free shopping experience, making you feel valued as a customer and person. Joe & Co. is a size-inclusive boutique carrying clothing and gift favorites such as Judy Blue, Vintage Havana, Savannah Jane, and Kendra Scott. Located on Fairview Avenue in Eddyville, or shop joeandcoboutique.com.
Hey besties, it's your girl Joe. Can't wait to see you at the boutique.
Do you want to get into the best shape of your life? Okay, let's be honest. Do you just want to get into some kind of shape? Then now's the time to get to Trilogy Performance Sports and take advantage of their $100 monthly family plan. This offer allows every member of the family living in the house to use the facilities at Trilogy as well as join the classes. What a deal! Don't wait. Get in shape. This offer is only for the month of September, so start exercising now and run to Trilogy Performance Sports to sign up. For more information, go to trilogyperformancesports.com.
Is filled with moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Once again, thanks for tuning in this morning, and we appreciate Dave Winder joining us from Murray State University. In the studio with us right now is former Caldwell County Tiger football coach Pat Gates. And Pat, welcome back to the show. And how many volleyball matches and softball games are you going to these days?
Quite a few, Todd, and thank you for having me. And yeah, the grandkids kind of keep me busy right now, so it's a good thing. It keeps it free time, where you can go and spend it with them.
Oh, for sure. Wanted to ask you about the Caldwell County football kickoff dinner a couple of weeks ago. How great was that event?
You know what? That was something really special, and having us old retired coaches back, just gives you a sense of feeling of how well that people appreciated you, and it was a great turnout, and kudos to Will Barnes and the staff there at Caldwell County High School for hosting such a great event. And of course it was great to see Jill Giordano, and all the Giordano family was there, Fonzine and Joni and Jenny and all their families. Randy Bruce, I got to visit with him quite a bit, one of my former players there. And, of course, Craig Clayton coming down from Hopkinsville speaking on behalf of Fred. So it was just a great event and a great atmosphere.
How difficult was it for you guys to keep your comments into about 10 or 15 minutes?
You know what? We all like to talk, I think, and we get to rambling a lot of times. But we try to hit on the high points of our careers. And, if it wasn't for this community here, none of us would have been in this situation. And it's just a tribute to our community that embraces the game of football and not just football, all sports. This is a sports-minded community, and all the people, the vendors and merchants here in Princeton and Caldwell County that gets behind the school system and really supports all these young men. And, of course, you can't say enough about all the great players we coached in the past. And we've got a lot of future Tigers that in the future, they're going to be great players as well.
Well, Jill stopped by and talked to me for just a minute afterward. And I told her that I wish she would have kept going because I love all those Coach G stories, and you never run out of Coach G stories.
Oh, you sure don't. And, of course, I followed Coach G here, after he was head coach for 13 years and just a legend of his own. And I got to work with him out there at the high school, and he was really good to me. He and Fonzine both were really great to me. And, there's a lot of good stories out there about him. And I learned a lot about him growing up from Jill when she made her speech a couple Saturday nights ago, and him playing with the Los Angeles Dodgers, and of course my dad played in the Brooklyn Dodger organization back in the day, and I don't know if they knew one another at that time. My dad's a little bit older; he'd be 95 right now if he was still living, but Those are great things to be put on by the community. And, it was such a great turnout. And I think the football team made quite a bit of money off of that auction. And they auctioned off everything that they could have. I know that. We brought home quite a few sweets. So,
I was going to say, buy a couple of pies and cakes. And
we had pies and cakes, and I think we still have some.
Coach G actually told me that he used to go to the polo grounds and he used to go to Ebbets Field and all those kind of things. And, wow. It's...
Oh, it's just amazing that some of the things that he was able to do and, serving in our country as well, I believe, and, and being able to coach here for as long as he did. And he's got to be one of the longest acting coaches at his time, over 40-something years.
Yeah.
I told him I didn't have opportunity to play for him or coach under him, but I would have loved to. And, of course, Freddy Clayton was the coach that I played under at Christian County. And, of course, he came in 1972 to Christian County. And I told him the other night I don't know why he chose to come there, because he was inheriting a very dismal program at the time, but he really turned it around in just a short time. I know my sophomore year when he came there, the year before that, my freshman year, we were 0-10, and my sophomore year we were able to win 3 ball games, and it was 3-7. And then my junior and senior year we were 7-2-1 and 7-3, and of course, playing in the district that we played in the WKC with the likes of Hopkinsville, Paducah, Tillman, Mayfield, Caldwell, all of those, Franklin Simpson, Bowling Green, strong teams, that was a pretty quick turnaround for him.
Well, Fred was originally from Madisonville, right? And then he came here from there and kind of built his legacy up.
He was, and, he started out at Marion High School. He was the head football coach at Marion High School, and of course, I kind of followed in his footsteps there for a while. I went from Allen County as an assistant to Crittenden County for 3 years, and I wound up here at Caldwell. And, of course, Coach Clayton was a great player in itself. He played at Western, and, of course, he had to go to the military as well and serve our country. And when he came back, it seemed like he coached forever. After he left Christian County, he went to Cheatham County, Tennessee, and coached down there as a head coach for several years. And of course, he helped Craig, up until, he passed away almost. And, he was always involved and just a great man.
We're talking this morning with former Tiger football head coach Pat Gates. We need to get to a timeout here on the show, but we'll be back with more on the Sideline Report after this on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Employers, it's time to make quality hires at the Step Into a Job hiring event.
Reserve your booth at the biggest hiring event in the area, absolutely free.
The Step Into a Job hiring event is September 15th from 10 till 3 at the Bruce in Hopkinsville.
As a media partner, the Edge Media Group is heavily promoting this event to ensure a great turnout.
Be sure to register by September 6th to secure your free spot. Visit wkworkforce.org for a link to registration.
It's their next favorite season at BNC Unique Boutique. It's fall, and they are rolling out all the cute things. We think you'll love their Small Town Fall and Small Town Proud t-shirts. They're available in spice or teal, 2 fabulous colors for fall, and they're available in sizes small to 3X. One of the new favorites is Yellowstone t-shirts, a perfect pairing with a new pair of jeans. For fashions for all ladies and accessories, head to BNC Unique Boutique with locations in Princeton and Grand Rivers.
Hancock's Neighborhood Market. Take the short drive to Cadiz and pick up all your favorites. They love their Princeton people.
Your Weather Edge Weather Center forecast, sunny skies, high of 88 this afternoon. Then tonight, mostly clear, low of 67. Friday, a 20% chance of showers and storms in the early afternoon. Sunny skies after and a high of 88. Friday night, mostly clear with a low around 67. And then Saturday, a 20% chance of showers and storms again in the early afternoon. Sunny skies and a high of 89. But back to this afternoon, sunny and 88.
It's an excellent time to purchase a new set of tires and take advantage of the new mail-in rebates of up to $200 on selected tires. Good tread depth and the correct air pressure in your tires can lead to improved fuel economy, increased handling and safety, more responsive braking, and a smoother ride. All things that make for a great summer road trip. Trice Hughes in Princeton is the one-stop shop for everything your vehicle needs. For more information, visit TriceHughes.com. That's TriceHughes.com.
The Great Wall Chinese Restaurant in Princeton. Stop in and enjoy a delicious, authentic Chinese buffet every day for lunch and dinner. You can also order for carryouts. They're open Tuesday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and closed on Mondays. The Great Wall Chinese Restaurant is located at 420 U.S. Highway 62 in Princeton. Enjoy delicious, authentic Chinese cuisine by enjoying their delicious buffet or call in your pickup orders to 270-365-9920.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. We're back with former Caldwell County Tiger football head coach Pat Gates. And Pat, this time of year, do you miss being around the team and being on the field and preparing for a game Friday night?
You know, I'd be lying if I said no, but you know, you kind of get the jitters, especially on opening night, and you know, you walk in out here at Tiger Stadium here a week from tomorrow, I guess, their first home game. You know, it's just a very special place to play, and you know, there's always a tremendous crowd on hand, and something about the opening of football gets you excited about it. But you know, I miss being around the kids and the coaches I worked with, and you know, I don't miss all those Saturday mornings film swaps, and of course now they don't have to drive and swap films like we used to, and
they just do it online now.
They can go online to Huddle and see anybody they want, get as many films as they want, and used to be back in our day, you know, we'd have to travel sometimes pretty far off to swap tapes, especially, of course, in '98 when we went so far. We had to drive to Louisville, Larry, and I can remember us driving up to Louisville one Saturday morning and swapping film. So, you know, times have changed, and but nothing greater, I don't think, than high school football here in Western Kentucky.
Does it feel like it's been 24 years since you guys won the 1998 state championship?
Man, I tell you, time gets away from us, doesn't it? And it doesn't seem like I'm 65, you know. You know, that's the thing. And, you know, I don't know where time has gone, but, next year will be our 25th anniversary. Yeah. I guess, you know, the KHSAA always recognizes teams on their 25th anniversary at the state finals, and hopefully we can, you know, all be here and be able to go up a year from December and be recognized, and such a great group of young men. And, you know, I said at the banquet the other night that I had so many good teams, great teams, that could have been there. And, you know, we had such a good run in 96, 97, and 98. Yeah. Any of those three could have went on and been just as successful with a break here or there. And, you know, you got to have some luck. And I've always said I'd rather be lucky than good. And it seemed like we were just a team of destiny in 98, and everything seemed to fall our way.
That team was really good, though. When you look back, I mean, there's just so many players, and you were just loaded all over the place, it seemed like.
Well, it's probably as good of skill players as I ever coached and on one team. And, you know, we had you know, of course, Childress is our quarterback. We had the running backs and Gerald Fuquay and Nathan Fawn and Justin Grooms. And, you know, we had our wideouts, you know, with Kelly Davis and Craig White and Evan Wells. And, you know, you didn't think I could remember all those names after 24 years. You know, you don't forget those guys. And plus, you can't forget the ones that played up front for us as well. We probably wasn't as talented as the 96 group up front. You know, when I had it, Andy Davis and Jason Asher and Aaron Ship and Bob Hudson, and, you know, but those guys molded together. Billy Hooks, you know, a young man that's being inducted this year into our Hall of Fame. And, you know, he was a great lineman for his size. You know, I don't know if I've coached a better person that on both sides of the ball as Billy's was, but, you know, Big Kelly Tinsley, you know, who can forget him, you know, just being a sophomore, and Wes Bugg and James Bond and Brian Courtner. You know, we made Brian Courtner an offensive guard. He was a receiver all the way through high school until his senior year, and he came to me one day and said, "Coach, I want to play." I said, "Well, here's your options." Yeah. And, you know, he took to it and turned out to be one of our better linemen. And, of course, Jim Hayes was the other tackle there, and we were just very blessed all around, offensively and defensively, to be able to come away with that state championship.
Well, you guys were so balanced, though. I mean, you could run the ball if you needed to, but if that didn't work, you could throw the ball, and I think it would be really tough to scheme against that offense.
Well, and we went more. I was more of a ground and pound type head coach. I always reverted to running the football if we could. I wanted to shorten the game. Of course, this day and time, nobody goes to the huddle, and back then we tried to take as much time off the clock as we could because we had 9 players going both ways, and that took a toll on those young men. But you've got to give them credit for keeping their bodies in such great physical shape. And we went into the whole season knowing that if we were going to get beat, we wasn't going to get beat in the fourth quarter because we were out of shape. And those kids really hung on strong, and it proved that against Danville in that championship game. It looked pretty bleak there for a long time, and finally we get to the fourth quarter, and we seemed like the more fresher team. And probably the big turning point was when Stuart Childress went on the quarterback draw for 85 yards, I guess, down the sideline. He outran that Britt kid who was supposed to be one of the fastest kids in the state, and that just kind of gave us a shot in the arm there, and where we could prevail and win that game.
Yeah, the Britt kid was on Stewart's heels all the way down the sideline,
but he couldn't catch him.
He couldn't catch him.
He couldn't, and of course we were wide open, and I trusted our players. I really did. I can remember calling time out there late in the game. We was only up by 3, and we had it 4th and 1 or 2, I believe it was, and Kelly Davis came to me, and he and Stuart said, "Coach, I was going to run the ball. I was going to give it to Gerald and try to get the first down by running." And he said, "I can beat this guy. Stuart can just throw it up to me." And I trusted him, and darned if he didn't. And that's the thing you got to do. You got to trust your players, and as well as they got to trust you. You got to have that belief in one another. And we were definitely a team.
Tiger head coach Pat Gates, former Tiger head coach, won the 1998 state football championship, is in the studio with us. We need to get to one more break here on the show, but we'll come back with more after this here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Black Patch Grill is a bar and grill with a twist. Come in and try authentic Irish fare or your favorite Southern comforts.
Your Weather Edge Weather Center forecast: sunny skies and a high of 88 this afternoon. Then tonight, mostly clear skies, low around 67. Friday, a 20% chance of showers and storms in the early afternoon. Sunny skies after and a high of 88. And then Friday night, as we get closer to kickoff, mostly clear skies and a low of 67. But back to this afternoon, we've got sunny and 88 degrees.
Need cash fast? Contact ABC Finance now.
Are you concerned about your current financial situation?
At ABC Finance, we can help.
Hi, this is Savannah Seymour at the Princeton ABC Finance location.
And this is Todd Morris at the Hopkinsville location.
At ABC Finance, we don't just provide loans, but we also provide valuable advice to help you get your credit in better standing.
Our friendly team of professionals has your best interest in mind, and we celebrate with you whenever your finances improve.
We encourage you to like our Facebook page, ABC Finance. Many of those useful tips are posted daily on our page, including tons of community info and motivation for the day.
Who couldn't use that? You can also visit us at abcfinanceonline.com, where you can even apply for loans online.
Or just give us a call and we can take your application over the phone. Or stop by. No appointment is needed and walk-ins are welcome.
All loans subject to normal credit approval.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Thanks a lot for joining us this morning. Former Tiger football head coach Pat Gates in the studio with us. And Pat, one thing that has always stuck out with me about Caldwell County football is stability in the coaching staff. You look at it now, and those guys have all been there seemingly forever. And when you were coaching, it was the same deal.
You hit the nail on the head there, Todd. And, you got to give the credit here to the community and the support that we've given. And, I'd like to compare our community to Mayfield. Mayfield had all those longtime coaches there with Jack Morris and Joe Morris, and there's been a Morris down there forever, and Leahy's and McDonald's and so forth. But here, Coach Clayton had a staff. pretty much intact his whole time with Coach G being with him. Then Coach G carries it on and having a long-time staff, and I inherited it. And, of course, I had Richie Hughes and Dennis Tomick and Carol Boyd and Larry Curlin and Neil Cummins and Will Brown. And most of them, all of them, were former players here and teachers that come back home and wanted to continue to live in this community.
I saw something online the other day that was really interesting to me. There was a school that was talking about their head coach and how he was nearing a milestone and was about to become the all-time winningest coach at their school, and the record was 64 wins for a head coach. And I'm like, Caldwell's got 2 with 117 and another one with 110.
Yes. And, how fortunate are we with that? And I think at one time there were 3 head coaches in 50 years.
Yeah.
And, with Fred, Al, and myself. And then we had a stint where Anthony Hatchell came for a couple years and then left, and I took it back for 1 year. And then David Barnes comes in and just does a tremendous job. There's no doubt in my mind if David was still here, he'd done be the all-time winningest coach. And it's just very unfortunate that what happened, gone at such a very young age. And I'm so glad that Will was able to come in and follow in his footsteps. And I look for Will to be here for a very long time as well. He's a young man that is early in his career, and he's doing such a great job with these Tigers out here, and very proud of him. And it's just something special here. We were talking about Wayne McGowan. I could not believe he told me the other night this is his 27th year coaching. And, of course, he played for me back in the early 90s and was the very first scholarship player that I had here. Of course, I had Randy Bruce went to Harvard on an academic and athletic scholarship back in the day. And, that was very special to have a young man go up there and get an education and doing as well as he's doing. But Wayne was the first full-time scholarship. And, of course, we thought earlier he was going to go to University of Louisville. They recruited him throughout his entire senior season. And, of course, we took him to a couple camps up there, and he really shined there. But when it came down to the time of signing date, they had another young man out of New York, I believe they offered instead of him. But we're very pleased, though, and gracious that he was able to go on to Murray State and had just a tremendous career down there.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY, Princeton, Kentucky. Former Tiger football coach Pat Gates in the studio with us. And, Pat, we were talking during the break earlier, and I mentioned that Wayne McGowan was one of the first players I ever interviewed when I first got into, radio and newspaper and that kind of stuff.
You're showing your age now, Todd, too. Of course, I can remember you were a senior in high school, I believe, when I came here in 1986. Yeah. So, time has really gotten away from us. But I tell you what, we've had some great times out here at Caldwell County High School. Just a great school, and I went through a lot of principals. I can say that in my 21 years here. I think I counted at one time. I had 10 or 11 principals at the high school. But, it's such a great community and very supportive of all athletics, not just football. Every sport. The other night at the volleyball game out here at the middle school, of course, they're having to play there due to the high school floor being worked on. But there was a tremendous crowd there for a volleyball game. And, of course, you see all the parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles that come out. And, there's nothing better to do in the fall on a Friday night than go to a high school football game. And, of course, they only play once a week, whereas a lot of your other sports play 2 or 3 times a week. And, of course, sports have grown so much, and there's so much going on. And used to be the fall was not as busy as the springtime, but it's kind of falling on the fall sports now. You got golf in the fall, and you got boys and girls soccer, you got cross country and volleyball and football. So you got a lot of sports to cover there, and I don't envy you one bit.
Yeah. Going back to that 98 state championship run, the one thing that always stuck out with me, maybe even more so than the championship game, was the state semifinal up at Bullitt East. And I remember, they had everything going on. It seemed like they had a big crowd there, and they had the smoke machine going when they came out of the locker room, and loud music and lasers, and they were all fired up. But when they looked across the field, there were probably more Tiger fans on the other sideline. And I think at the end of the first quarter, you guys were up 21-0.
Oh, I tell you, those kids weren't intimidated by any of that. And, of course, it really started before the opening kickoff when all the buses pulled in from Caldwell County and all those kids screaming and hollering. I don't know how many pet buses that we took up there, but we took a bunch. And, it was just a great turnout. And even when we walked in Fairgrounds Stadium before we played against Danville, we walked in. And, of course, Mayfield was playing the game before us, and I can't remember who they were playing, Beechwood or – I can't remember.
It wouldn't have been Middlesboro or somebody, would it?
It could have been. I don't know. But anyway, it seemed like we sure far outnumbered everyone else. Yeah. And, just to see all that blue and gold that followed us up there and throughout the playoffs. And it continues to do so. I know back when David and them went to Western to play in the state finals, we filled up that one side over there on WKU side. And, Caldwell's never – lacking support. And no matter, everybody should want to play us because we're going to bring them money.
Sure.
We're going to bring a crowd, whereas a lot of these schools around here don't hardly bring anyone. And you're always going to get great support from the Caldwell County fans. And, always a good rivalry is the Crittenden County. Crittenden County follows their teams well, too. So those are two close-knit communities there that I've been very fortunate to be part of both of them, and they've turned out in big numbers.
Yeah. That championship game, the one thing that always sticks out for me is that ball laying on the ground after they had snapped it on the punt, and the punter was gone, and Gerald Fuqua just swooped in and picked that thing up and was gone for a touchdown, and that game was y'all's after that.
Well, we had the punt block on, and actually Coach Curlin kept, hollering at me. He said, Gerald's on the wrong side. He lined up on the wrong side, and it turned out to be the right side.
Yeah.
So, the good Lord was looking after us, and, everybody but the punter knew that the fake punt was called off.
Yeah.
And, when he snapped it over his head, and, of course, the punter turned, it just – went right into Gerald's arms and was able to scoop it up, and what a nice gift that was. But, those kids just hung together. I can remember back, at halftime, I think we were down 21-7 maybe, or 21-14.
Yeah.
We were behind. We scored right before the half, and, our kids, they were playing their hearts out. And, they looked up at me. I said, we're right where we need to be at halftime, Keep it close to the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter's ours. It has been that way all year, and those kids believe that. Very intelligent group of young men. I looked. I think there was one or two valedictorians out of that class on that team, and every one of them was around a 3.9 or 3.8 grade point average, and I get to see them every now and then, and every one of them's gone on to be very successful in life, and it's just a very special group of young men.
Yeah, that was a fun run and fun to think back, and we could sit here and talk about that all day.
Oh, Lord. Could we, though? And then, a couple of them that I did leave off, of course, Joe Dan Talley was one of our cornerbacks. He was just a sophomore. Him and Kelly Tinsley were our sophomores that were starting on that team, and he started at cornerback back there, and I can remember him that big tight end they had caught a pass, and Joe Dan grabbed him by the leg, and he was dragging Joe Dan down the field, and I just kept hollering, hold on, Joe Dan, help's on its way, and, finally it gets down there. But there's a lot of memorable turning points in that game, and it's one that, the older you get, it seems like the more you remember, I think, at times, and, it was a very special time, and, it was kind of like David and Goliath. Nobody really gave us much of a chance beating Danville, and they had a very good football team. Sam Harp had a tremendous team, and, of course, Josh Jaggers was over there playing, and Nathan Fuqua, who is now coaching, he's a defensive coordinator here at Georgia Tech, I believe. Great player. I got to coach him in the Kentucky-Tennessee All-Star game and got to know him and a couple more of their players that year and that summer, and they're just an outstanding group of young men, and just a well played ball game on both teams' part. And it's a shame one team had to lose, but I'm glad the one that did lose
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming in and talking about all that on the show today. And like I said, we could go another hour and talk about that '98 team.
We could, and we inducted another class. We're fixing to induct another class in the Hall of Fame, and I know Billy Hooks was off that team. He's going in, and Will Brown, who was one of my top assistants, is going in. And Will's done such a great job here with the football program, playing here under Coach G and coaching, and now he takes care of the fields. Those fields are in perfect condition out there, and it's because of all the hard work that Will's done, and the people here in support of Caldwell County football is carrying this legacy on, and hopefully we can get on that winning track come Friday night. We're playing an awful good schedule. Caldwell's never backed down from playing a quality opponent, and of course last week Christian County was unfortunate, but they got great athletes over there, always have had. And we play Madisonville, which is a great rivalry over the years, and you used to play for the old hog rifle.
Yeah.
And I don't know, do they still have that, or?
There's different reports on whatever happened to that.
I remember back, we got it started back after, it was kind of put to rest there during Coach G's years, and we kind of put it to rest and got it back. Mark Bashir brought it back, and I think the last time we played them, we won it, and we had it here in our trophy case for such a long time.
You have to come back another time, and we'll finish talking about all of this.
Hey, when you're hard up for guests, I get I got a lot of free time on my hands now, so I'd be more than happy. And thank you again, Todd, for having me, and all the work that you do in WPKY, covering all these sports here. I can't say enough good things about you.
That is former Tiger football head coach Pat Gates. I also appreciate Dave Winder, the Associate AD for Media Relations at Murray State University, for joining us on the show today. That's going to wrap us up on the Sideline Report for this Thursday morning. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and YourSportsEdge.com. Thanks a lot for being with us here on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
WPKY, Princeton.
I'm Lillian Wu. Confirmation the U.S. economy shrank 2 quarters in a row this year.
This is the second preliminary estimate of second quarter GDP, coming at a contraction of 0.6%, slightly better than the first read that we got of a contraction of 0.9%. Having said that, you can redefine what you think a recession is. Technical definition is 2 consecutive quarters of contracting GDP. We still have that. First quarter was down 1.6%.
Fox's Jackie DeAngelis. On the jobs front, fewer Americans filed